Hello and welcome to the Adventra podcast, your go to show for everything travel. Today, we are diving into something every traveler loves and dreads planning the perfect trip. Whether you are a spontaneous backpacker or a meticulous itinerary builder, you'll want to hear this. We are also excited to introduce you to Adventra, a smart travel planning platform designed to make your journeys smoother, smarter, and way more fun. And to talk all about it, we have an avid traveler with us today. Aparajita, also popularly known as Appu, who's been exploring the world one plan at a time. Appu is an ultra marathoner who has done long stadium runs and traveled around 17 countries. She's a regular corporate mom, and according to her, she needs to plan everything well in advance because no one is going to do that for her. Appu loves to experiment with experiences. Welcome, Appu. Let's get started.
Hey, Anub, thank you so much for inviting me to your podcast. And I think it's been 1.5 years since we've known each other. And I still remember the first time we met on our regular runs. So we both are runners, right? So on our regular runs at HSR. And you said you were getting into you were starting your venture on adventure travel. So, and I think it's come a long way right now. And I like a lot of features that you're incorporating into your venture, into your app. And all the best for Adventra, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Appu, and you are very adventurous. So the first time I met you, that's how you came across. So, and I always thought that I got to have you on the podcast someday. So today's that day. So let's rewind a little bit. When did this travel bug bite you? Really, was it during your trips with your family in your childhood days, or when you became an adult? So what exactly happened there?
So I should say, like, I was just 10 days old, okay, 10 days old. And this is a story that I've been hearing from everyone in my family. So my mom decided that, going to Kashmir with my dad was more interesting than the just born baby. And fortunately, at the same time, my aunt also had delivered my cousin. So she gave the responsibility of taking, care of me. And she packed her bags and she went to, a month long trip to Kashmir with my dad, and that I was just 10 days old, right?
Oh, wow. So I guess it started right there.
Yes.
And I'm not surprised that you love travel so much. So, and how often do you travel really? And is it only domestic trips you do, or you also like to go abroad? Or like I know that you've traveled to multiple countries, right? So, what exactly, like, what's your frequency of travel?
Yeah, so actually, if you see, it has evolved over the years. Like starting from my first trip to Bombay when I was just 5 years old, to my recent trip, to back to Chennai. It's evolved over the years, I should say. So 20 years back, when I came to Bangalore, so me and my husband, then my boyfriend. So I chanced upon this book called 52 Weekends
Oh,
from
wow. Yeah,
Bangalore.
I've heard
Yeah.
about that book.
Yeah. So I kind of decided that let me try, at least every weekend I want to go to one place in this book. And I think over a span of 3 years, I covered all the places in that
You
book.
did? Actually, I was really meaning to meet someone. I've not met someone who has really covered all those
So it's
52
not just
places.
once. So I have done multiple times to a certain place in that 52 weekends. And that's what actually interested me to explore Karnataka. And so I have gone to many places many times using that book. And some of these places have become, I that religiously I need to go every
Oh,
year,
okay. You
right?
love them so
So
much.
yeah, so it was a repeat. And even this year, every year or once in 2 years, I cover some of those places like Mangalore or Wayanad. That's my frequenting
So that's
uh,
the frequency of travel. So you travel
frequency.
quite, and then you also travel abroad. Like your passport apparently must be
No,
stamped
yeah, not
several
that
places.
much, I should say, but yeah, to certain extent. I'm not. I don't get an opportunity because now I have daughter in the ninth grade, and so it becomes priorities change, but. I still find the time to go. And I have a religious trip to Goa at least for the New Year's. So that is a
Oh,
must.
wow.
Okay. And last 2 years, on the demand of my daughter, so we decided to do a yearly international trip. Uh,
That's good. That's
yeah,
very, very good.
yes.
So
So
how, you said that you like to plan in advance. So
Yes.
generally, how much in advance do you plan? Like it's like 3 months, 6 months, or a year, or is it like in a month, months ahead of the
So I
schedule?
think planning comes kind of quite organically to me, because my dad was any trip that we would go, my dad was the planner. So I think that bug bit me as well. And but the planning of a trip depends on trip to trip. Like for example, if it's domestic and wherever I can take a car, I don't need, it could be impromptu trips. But if it's something as an international destination, the first thing I'll do is book my flights, right? If we know the place, if we know the time of the year that we are going, sometimes I would even book like 5 6 months earlier. Like if I have to go in April, the summer, then I would book in November December, I'll be done with my flights. So because that's the first thing, and I would not book it spontaneously. I would watch the trend for a week. Okay, I would like to see at what which day of the week the prices go down. And also sometimes you get these discounts, and sometimes there would pop up a flight which would not be available on other days,
Hmm.
right? It would be only once in a week or something. So I have noticed that some of these trends, if you keep watching over a period of a week, you would get to know the best option.
Wow, you research a lot, and
Yes,
you are an
I do that.
informed traveler.
Yes.
That's very good to know. And so, walk us through the planning process. What steps do you use to plan things out, and what's most important to you? Is it the budget, experiences, food, or like in a trip? What all things are you looking for? Right.
So it depends again on destination and also with whom I'm going with, right? That's very, very important for me. If it's with family, I, like any service industry, I expect a 5-star rating after that. It's an unpaid job when you do it when you do it for your friends and family. But I always kind of experience this whole planning for my family. And it is very, very what do you say, quite strenuous. And so I want them to have the best experience, because they are not as avid travelers like me. So they go only once in a year, or once in 2 years, sorry, twice in a year. So because of that, it has to be, I want to give them the best experience. So I make sure that I travel I ex- sorry I plan the travel very much in advance. So one is, as I said, flights. That's obviously, I need to make sure the flight has to be booked much in advance, with the less number of hours in transit,
Mm-hmm.
or it's not too long,
Too much
too
layover.
much layover, right? Second thing is the or most important is the stay, right? When it comes to stay, I only use Google Maps,
Mm-hmm.
right? And the reason I use Google Maps is, first I chalk out what are the places that I would want to visit in a place and in a location. And when I want to visit those conveniently using a public transportation, right? When I want to do that, I would always draw the map to see which is the location where I can use a public transport like metros, trains, buses, plus go to these locations conveniently. So there I spot it on the Google map, and then go do a research reviews on TripAdvisor, on Google, again research on the places on that locality, and then find which has the best rating, and then I block that
Okay. So
stay.
you do a lot of research and step by step. So there's a method
Yes,
that you
it's
follow,
a template that I
template
follow for
that you follow.
any travel.
Any travel. No,
Yeah.
that's so. I'll tell you, truth be told, I have planned trips in the past, and I know it's a lot of work. And truth be told, there's something that you always don't like, right? About the whole planning process. So, what is that one thing that you don't like about planning your travel?
So, to be honest, how much ever we planned, right? End of the day, only when you go and stay there, when you go to that place and the reality strikes, then you experience that all your planning has gone down the drain. Because these days, the problem is the amount of data that you have on the internet is not genuine. Some of them are fake. Like
Hmm.
whatever reviews you read on a particular location, or a place to stay, sometimes it's not the reality. So the reality check comes only when you go and land there.
Hmm.
So that's when it kind of hits you hard, And one really thing which really went wrong was, after long planning, was to a trip to China. So I was Dr. Reeth Abraham, our Arjuna awardee. So she was taking me along with her to this Asia Masters in China. So we were planning, and along with us, another athlete also had come. So we had booked the flights way ahead, at least 3 4 months ahead. And then just the day before, when I was trying to get all everything packed and to see whether my data is there in my phone, and I see I don't see the tickets. I don't see
Oh,
my tickets in my mail. So I am panicking. I call Reet and said, Reet, do you have the tickets? I don't see the tickets in my inbox. She said, absolutely, I have no idea about this. And then I went back, traced back, and I realized that the payment did not go through on the site,
oh,
because of
okay.
which I did not have a flight. Okay, and my travel date is the next day. Okay, and but Reeth was there for us, so she saved us. She contacted her travel agent. Of course, we paid a little extra, and we got the ticket, booked for the next day. So if not, otherwise everything would have gone, because and it was the Asia Masters where she is competing for
Hmm.
India. So otherwise it would have gone. It was my mistake. I was panicking. So, but luckily, Reed saved us.
No, so no matter how well you plan,
Yeah,
things can go
go
wrong. That's
wrong.
what you're saying, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
you should never think that you can completely
yes. Nothing is perfect.
remove
So
that
that's
uncertainty,
a
right?
big learning lesson for me that day. So even 2 weeks before, I make sure that everything is in order.
So you're setting the right expectations with your family also, that no
Yes,
matter how good I'm planning this trip, there
this
can be things that
yeah,
can
it
go
could
wrong,
go
right?
wrong. Yeah.
So I just want to kind of you recently visited Japan, right?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
I think in February, and for the cherry blossom. And I know that from our some of the conversation that you really enjoyed that trip. So what went well there? What did you like about your Japan trip?
Yeah. So my daughter wanted to visit Japan for Sakura, the cherry blossom season, right? So she said, I want to go. So then she said, okay, that's for the summer. So it was in 2025, April, we went to Japan. And my planning started from October last year.
It's almost 6 months in advance.
Yes.
Yeah.
So 6 months in advance, again, I had to book my flights. We booked because it was very useful that I was watching the trend for 1 week, because for 1 week, initial 3 days, I could not find the Japan Air, the airlines, the Japanese airlines. But then the fourth day, it came on my, it popped up, and I immediately booked because it was a direct flight. Everything else had a layover of 24 hours or 36 hours, but this was a direct flight for just 8 hours, and it was within the budget. So decided, okay, fine, I'm going to book this flight. We booked, but after that, it took me 4 months to get a plan. I mean, when I say a plan, it is from when I left my home in Bangalore till I reached. Step by step, I had to write down every day in the morning, send it in our family group to between among the three of us. So this is the day plan till for 10 days. So this whole planning took me 4 months.
And how was it like when you visited Japan? Was it like as per your expectation? How was the experience
Oh,
like?
the best part of Japan was the people, the
Yeah.
culture, and of course the food. I mean, everything else was a plus, but these were the three most important things which stood out for me there. And we just enjoyed. We took the metro everywhere, and we did a lot of offbeat places. We went to a lot of offbeat places. That was the highlight. Because if you see in Japan, in Tokyo, we were mostly in Tokyo. So this Tokyo place, you have, it's very crowded in these touristy places. So I did this 1 day trips outside Tokyo, where we could take the, sometimes bullet trains, and we wanted to experience bullet train. So my husband wanted that. We wanted to go to Mount Fuji. So everything we covered in those 10 days, but from Tokyo, because it's vast. It's
Hmm.
impossible to cover all the places in one go. So you need to split the Japanese trip itself. It was, you had to split it into four different regions. They also have various regions, and they also have these passes the train passes which covers various regions. So I decided I will take that as my focal point.
Okay, and it's better basically not to kind of unpack every day and
Yes, yes,
move around, because that's
that
probably,
is
yeah, and that also is preference, right? That you like to have. So everybody will have different kind of preferences, right?
preferences, because
Yeah.
my daughter, sorry, my daughter and my husband, they're quite a little lazy, and they're not as adventurous as me, so they have to be in one place, and it's
But I think some
difficult.
of the adventure rubs on them.
Yeah, I
Your
hope
adventure
so.
is great. So, viewers and listeners, Appu's Japan trip is actually on Adventra platform. It's named as curated by Aparajita, and you can really use that itinerary and the plan to plan your own trips from for Japan. So, and it's really a different kind of trip that we found, and she was kind enough, or she was kind of gracious enough to kind of let us publish that trip on our platform. So, what's that one advice based on your experience that you would want to give to your fellow travelers, Apu?
So there are various, but one thing is, how much ever you go well prepared, don't have high expectations. Expect things to go naturally, to flow naturally. Don't let your trip, don't let your trip be, impact you if it goes wrong. So be spontaneous. It's okay to experience all everything in one go, so don't expect a perfect trip always.
Okay, and probably kind of uh, check out what is most important to you and kind
So
of
I think
base focus on prioritize based.
prioritize on what you want.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you say custom your trip, right, it's your own trip, so customize it as per your your needs, right? Don't I would always say that, if you're going through a travel agent, so they are going to give you various other various packages, but mostly it will be concentrated on what the entire tourism industry wants, or the entire local or tourist people want to go to, right? But when you have it in your own hands, take advantage of it and curate it as where you want to go to.
Yeah, actually, and what typically happens these days on social media, there are a lot of trips that you see,
Yeah,
but it looks very enticing, right? But maybe it's not for you
that's
because it
true.
may not be your priority. So it may look very enticing. So I think
Exactly,
that prioritization
is
and
important.
is important, and what is important to you,
Customization is important.
customization and
Yeah, to be
in the
honest,
plan.
when I was planning for Japan, it was not just my own plans. Obviously, I kind of referenced to social media, Instagram, YouTube, for to get reviews. There's a lot of information on the social media on Japan trip, but I think you should choose where you want to go, right? So that helps you take the reviews, but end of the day you zero it down to what you want, or the group that the group with whom you're going. For example, if it's my daughter and my husband, where do they want to go? First ask their preference. So a salesperson, like a salesperson, go and ask, meet the demands of your customers first. So what is it that my husband wants is
Yeah.
part of the package. Whatever my daughter wants, it's part of the package, and then I curate it based on that.
Based on, and that's why I think they are probably a very happy customer, right?
True.
So I'm sure like you would be using data like online, and if there's one feature, that ideal travel planning app that you would want, right? And there's one feature that you would want, what would that feature be that in that travel planning app?
Okay, my right now, which I want is, I want to feed all my past travels
Okay.
into the app, and it has to give me the next destination.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay, it has to read my habits. It has to read my pattern, right? It has to read my wants, needs, and dislikes and
Like
likes,
personalization, basically.
personalization, and based on that, it has to give me the next destination.
Okay, so it should basically kind of read you and then say, okay,
Read my
Apu,
pattern
read
from the
your
data
pattern,
that
and
I'm
then
feeding.
and give you that wow thing, right?
Correct.
Okay, this is the place that I
Place,
want to visit.
yes,
Okay,
yes,
so and speaking of travel apps, have you used Adventra?
correct.
Like allows you to plan your trips, right? So have you used that the Adventra app
Of
for your
course.
travel planning, and what was your like experience like?
So I did use it for the, thank you for the trek. taking me for the trek once we did, and also for the Japan. Yeah, and so all these, I think it's the customization, the features that you're building in, like for example, the payment also, right? Like splitting the money, that also is quite useful. I like all the features that you're building in the app.
Okay.
So it gives me the personalization. So
Okay.
that's what is my favorite part of the app.
Okay. No, thank you very much, Apu. And I think we want to keep learning from avid travelers like you, and then kind of build in the features that really kind of can be useful. So, for all those watching and listening to this podcast, uh, Adventra allows you to plan your trips, and you can do a whole lot more. So you can use curated trips, you can use organized trips, and you can use a lot of features like photos, expenses, and pretty much end-to-end planning you can do on Adventra platform. So let's wrap things up, Apu. And I want to kind of have some rapid fire
Sure.
questions round. Okay, so like you know, it's very popular, right? So,
Yes.
so what's that one travel destination you think everyone should visit at least once, and why?
Japan,
Uh huh. Okay.
and for the people and the culture.
Oh, excellent. And do you prefer building an itinerary from scratch or using suggestions from travel creators or experts?
Both. So I would start from scratch and go on to take a opinion on the social media. But end of the day, it's my plan.
Okay, so that's the personalization. Okay.
Yes,
Would you let AI plan your trip completely or would that freak you out?
definitely not. It's I would love AI to plan my trip, and as I already mentioned, I want AI to read my pattern and give me, the next destination.
Okay. How cool would it be that if your travel app could suggest trips based on your mood or Spotify playlist?
That'll be great. But if it reads my mood, I'm sure AI is going to get confused. So, but what I would want AI to do is to give me a destination based on the current time of the year at that moment. The reason is, for example, if I had not known about Sakura, I would have missed it and gone to the next year. I would have waited for the next year,
Mhm.
right? So I don't have an app to tell me at this point of time if I
This is the
want to
best time to
go,
visit.
which is the best time, which is the best place to visit based on that time.
Okay.
That's something which I'm looking forward.
Yes. And what's the weirdest but best travel tip that you ever received?
Always carry a pillowcase.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Actually, it's a very useful tip.
Yes,
Actually.
because kind, I get finicky about certain things. One thing obviously everybody will agree with is the cleanliness of the rooms, right? Because we know how unhealthy or unsafe, unhygienic some of these hotels are. So if you want a good sleep, so you can enjoy the next day, is something that you need to have fresh sheets and fresh pillowcases.
Excellent. So, listeners, you heard Apu about travel planning. If all this talk has you itching to plan your next escape, check out Adventra. Whether you are a solo traveler, a couple, or part of a group trip, Adventra helps you turn your travel ideas into real, unforgettable experiences. Download it today and start planning smarter. Trust me, your future self will thank you. Thank you, Apu, for your real life insights into travel planning for our viewers and listeners. I'm sure that'll make it very, very easy with your experience and insights and the Adventra platform. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anu. Thank you so much.